Hey guys, it's Prav from Recorife. So in this video, I'll be talking about last night's South Park episode. It may not be last night, depending when you watch it, but it's basically episode 3 of South Park season 20. So what happened in this episode? Well, it was a bit interesting. I didn't really do episode 2, but I'm going to reference it. So hopefully, if you're watching this, you've seen episode 2 or can kind of get the references. But with episode 2, what they did was when people sort of quit Twitter, they made it out like they were, killing themselves or suicide. Or, well, that's basically the same thing. But yeah, so that's what they made it out to be. And in episode 3, we actually find out that Cartman has left Twitter. But I mean, this was kind of a given because in episode 2, you see Cartman's stuff being smashed by the other boys. So it was bound to happen. The other thing that I thought was hilarious was the parody of Hillary and of Clinton and Trump. So Clinton is being parodied by someone that looks really like Clinton, and Trump is being parodied by Mr. Garrison. And what one of the best moments in the episode 3 was that when before the debate, Clinton is told by her advisors that whatever Trump says, all you have to say is my opponent is a liar and cannot be trusted. And so she parrots this to the word, even to the point where when Trump, aka Mr. Garrison, says, I don't have an idea what I'm doing with the country, I've got no idea, vote for her, I'm going to be a bad president, blah, blah, blah. And what does Clinton do? As you may expect, she just basically says, my opponent is a liar and cannot be trusted. I thought that was just priceless. But apart from that, you realize that Carl's dad, who's Skank42, he actually causes a German athlete to commit suicide, and he starts feeling guilty. And within a few minutes of the episode, I guess he starts getting weird emails saying, "I know who you are," meet me under the bridge, blah blah blah. So we'll see how that goes in the next episode. I'm trying to think what else happened. I think Stan is a bit fed up of all these of all the boys versus girls thing. I think he misses Wendy. The interesting thing there was actually with Cartman, because Cartman's cut off from social media. As I said, the boy smashed up all his tech basically in the last episode, and he finds comfort in Heidi, who's one of the girls who was the first girl actually to quit Twitter. And she shows him this place, which is effectively a park, where he can find sanctity and he doesn't need technology and blah blah blah. But it's quite interesting because they go back to primitive times in terms of being away from their phones. And I do actually say that sometimes I do miss that, where we didn't have social media and you could just be free to do whatever you wanted. But that's a topic for another video. But basically, that's where she takes him. And one of the interesting parts is basically when there's like a car driving past the park, and it's a husband and wife, or a couple or whatever, and the boy says to the girl, or the man says to the woman, or wife, husband, whatever, that, oh look honey, that they're I can't remember exactly what he says, but it's like, oh look them, as if kind of like it's unnormal to be in a park, like not be on their phones. And what's funny is the two people that are in the car, including the one that's driving, is on his phone. So it just kind of mirrors real life. And going back to the Clinton Trump thing, I think that mirrors real life as well, because as we know, politicians are not saying the stuff that they perhaps want to say, but what they're rather being told to say, which I thought was quite interesting. And apart from that, I'm trying to think what else happened in the episode, because I watched it early this morning. It was a really good episode overall. I think it was more funnier than more funnier, is that a word? It was funnier than the first two episodes. So that was good. Not to say the first two episodes were bad, sorry. They just weren't as funny, but I think they built up a good plot line for this episode, and obviously the episodes going forward. So I think overall they did a good job with episode 3. It was called The Damned. I still don't know why they called it The Damned, but I'm really looking forward to next week's episode, because the episode title is Skank Hunt, so it's going to be all about Kyle's dad maybe getting exposed, maybe, actually having to face his consequences for his actions or something. So it should be interesting. And I also want to see how the Clinton-Trump thing goes, as well as if Cartman does come back to social media, as well as one big storyline from episode 2 was the girls got really fed up of the trolling, and basically they just decided to end their relationships with all the boys. And the last one to do that was Wendy with Stan, and he got really upset. But yeah, guys, I'm coming up to 5 minutes, so I think that's pretty much enough of a wrap-up of last night's episode. As I said before, I really do encourage you to watch season 20 of South Park. I'm really enjoying it, and I'm religiously watching every episode as and when I can. So yeah, guys, that's been it. It's Para from Recorife, as I said. Feel free to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you like the kind of new angle and the setup. It's basically my room, but I thought it was a bit better than filming downstairs on the sofa. And I've got it on a bit of a selfie stick at the moment, which is why I can do things like this. But yeah, hopefully the lighting's okay, and hopefully you can hear me all fine. And yeah, I just generally prefer doing these kind of live vlog videos once in a while. So apologies, there was no episode 2 last week, but hopefully you enjoyed this episode 3 recap. And yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys. Leave a comment if you're watching South Park and what you think of it. And yeah, subscribe for more vlogs, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.